Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I want to tackle one of the most common questions I get asked whether I'm working one-to-one with a student, speaking with parents at school events or running workshops for teachers across the UK. Now that is, what are elite universities really looking for in an application? And considering the levels of competition that exist to get an offer of a place at one of these universities, it really is an essential question. Most of the answers you'll hear will focus on surface level things such as grades or extracurriculars, personal statement style, but today I want to take you inside the real decision-making process to show you what successful applicants are aware of and, more importantly, the thinking that goes on in admissions offices at the most competitive universities, and which I've been part of during my years working in the student recruitment and admissions department at a top 10 UK university. I'm going to walk you through the behind-the-scenes realities of what can ultimately make or quietly break your application. And by the way, if you're finding this helpful, please do hit the like button and don't forget to download the free Elite Admissions Guide link below. And just as a heads up, in the next video, I'm going to be showing you exactly what activities you can start engaging with right now to strengthen your application and which admissions staff love to see. So don't miss that one. I will link it at the end of the video and you can find it in my applications playlist, linked also down below. Now, in order to understand what elite universities expect from their applicants, you need to start by pulling the camera back a little. Because before we can talk about applicants, we need to talk about institutions. Elite universities don't just exist to hand out degrees. They are academic powerhouses, but they're also brands, research engines and global influencers. And like any successful organisation, they have outcomes to deliver: world-class teaching and graduate success, research output and academic contribution, strong employment and postgraduate statistics, and international reputation and recognition. These outcomes drive their rankings, their funding, their partnerships, and ultimately their long-term sustainability. So when admissions staff review applications, they're reviewing it through that lens, because ultimately, when universities choose who to offer a place to, they're not just asking, is this person a good student, or are they going to get involved in wider university life? They're asking, will this student help us achieve our goals? And those goals are actually surprisingly easy to find because they're splashed across university websites and prospectuses. And what you'll see is that they are all very proud to be doing very well in league tables. If you look at the criteria for those, you'll see that essentially universities are aiming to enhance global knowledge and skills and positively impact the world and the wider community. They're all very keen to be seen to be having an impact. You can even find impact league tables. And a quick glance at their web pages, and I'm sure in no time at all, you'll find some mention of the ways their research is positively affecting the world. They're also very keen to be seen to be preparing students for professional life. And one metric you'll see quite a lot in their promotional materials are their place within the league tables for employability. This shows that top and sought after employers value their graduates and their degrees. To this end, they're also very proud of their teaching facilities. So you'll see reference to something called the TEF, and this is given as a gold, silver or bronze and is a mark of quality in their educational provision. And another thing they all love is a good review, and for this you'll often see them refer to how well they're doing in something called the National Student Survey, or NSS. It's an independent survey of graduates asking them how they felt about the teaching, resources, facilities, both academic and social, during their time at university and on a specific course. Other common review sites are things like TripAdvisor and Which University. Now, all of this isn't just marketing fluff. They are indicators of how well a university is performing. They're all the things that universities are held accountable for. So when they're admitting students, they're looking for people who will enhance those results. Students who are going to thrive academically and boost their outcomes. Students who will go on to succeed professionally and progress to a high level within their professions, showing that their degrees actually work. And students who might one day make a meaningful contribution in their field and become the kind of alumni that they love to showcase. So in that sense, admissions is very much strategic. They want to attract the right student to achieve their goals. They want students to contribute to those goals, and they want to go up in the rankings and ultimately secure funding and sustainability. And all of this can be seen as a kind of positive feedback loop. So they're not simply handing out offers to the nicest or impressive sounding candidates. They're selecting people who they believe will add value to their course, to their department and their reputation both now and in the future. So it's not just about being a good student. It's about showing that you're the kind of student who aligns with what they value. And understanding that gives you a serious edge in applications, because now you can build that application around what really counts. And remember, do grab my free admissions guide to help you with this. It's going to show you how to do all of this and refers to tons of activities you can engage with to impress admissions staff. I'll also be exploring that in the next video. And remember, the links are below in the description. So now that you know what universities want to achieve, the next question is, how do you show them that you're the kind of student who can help them get there? Well, it boils down to three essential qualities: achievement, capability, and dedication. Because in the eyes of admission staff, students who are likely to do extraordinary things in the future tend to have already shown signs of it. Your achievement will be reflected in strong academic results and predicted grades. Your capability will be your command of course-specific knowledge and skills that are going to help you get results and have an academic impact. Your dedication is the consistent effort, focus, and initiative you show in pursuit of your goals. In other words, your level of engagement with subject, and even better, course-relevant content. Now that's why, in distinguishing between applicants and deciding who to offer their places to, top universities adhere to one golden rule. The best predictor of future achievement, capability, and dedication is past achievement, capability, and dedication. They're not guessing. They're looking for evidence, clear signs that you've already demonstrated success, that you've developed the foundational skills and subject knowledge that their course demands, and that you're proactive, focused, and committed to further growth. In short, they're looking for students who have the results, capability, focus, and proactive attitude to help them meet their goals. Someone who doesn't just tick boxes, but actually aligns with the deeper goals of the institution. That's the person who stands out, and that's the person who will get an offer. Now, this is where a lot of applicants go wrong. They try to present themselves as the full package: strong grades, school leadership, music, sport, volunteering, and a handful of interests. And while that might impress in a general context, elite universities aren't looking for polished generalists. They're looking for students with academic depth. In fact, the more competitive the course, the more focused the admissions process. They want people who are already immersed in their subject, thinking in a way that's aligned with the course, already know something about some of the course content, and are developing the kinds of skills the course actually demands. So yes, personal qualities matter, but your place on the course will be earned primarily by showing that you are already thinking and acting like a subject specialist. And that brings us to the key idea. The most powerful thing you can show in a competitive application is what I call course laser focus. This means you've gone beyond the school syllabus. You've independently pursued topics that will be taught on course because they genuinely interest you. And you've engaged with academic materials such as books, journals, lectures, or podcasts. And you've started forming your own thoughts, opinions, or questions about the subject. It's not about being an expert, it's about showing that you're on the way. When you have this kind of focus, it changes your application. Your personal statement becomes more specific, your academic references feel more assured, and your interview, if you have one, is a chance to have a conversation and not just pass a test. Course laser focus sends a clear signal. It says, I'm not applying because this subject looks interesting. I'm applying because I've already started becoming the kind of student who belongs in this field and on this course. If you go back to the golden rule, achievement is past and predicted grades, but capability and dedication is your engagement with course-relevant content and activities and development of course-relevant knowledge and skills. This brings us back to action. What can you start doing right now to strengthen your application? Now, as I mentioned in my next video, I will cover some of the impactful activities you can engage with to achieve this. But right now, I just want to talk about the process for this. First and foremost, it's to explore course content. Don't just read the course title. Look at the module breakdowns, the topics that are taught day by day. Identify course-specific skills developed and employed throughout the course and the assessment methods used, because this is going to be your academic blueprint. It's this content that you're going to need to know in detail, and it's the building blocks for a successful personal statement. It's through this content you know which activities you should start engaging with now. Actively engage, read, watch, listen and reflect. Follow up on interesting ideas and keep a journal of what you're learning and thinking. And develop course relevant skills. So whether it's analytical writing, statistical thinking, coding, lab work, make sure it is taken from your research. Every subject has its toolkit. And in the next video, I'm going to be showing you exactly what kind of activities you can start doing to develop this knowledge and skills. And finally, track your own academic growth. Reflect regularly on what you're improving at and what excites you, and write it down. This is going to build confidence and clarity when it comes to writing your application. Now, all of this is what builds your subject laser focus, and it all adds up to an application that is powerful and compelling and makes sense to admissions tutors. Okay, to wrap up, elite universities aren't looking for polished all-rounders. They're looking for students who know what they're getting into with regards to their course and have already actively engaged with the subject and have started developing the knowledge and skills their future course demands. Now, if this sounds like you, or if it's the direction you want to grow into, then you're already giving admission staff what they need to say yes. Remember to download my free Elite Admissions Guide from the description below. It's going to be a simple, powerful way to check if your current application is hitting all the right notes. And if you're wondering what activities you can start engaging with right now to improve your application and want to discover which experience elite universities really rate, then head straight to the next video in the playlist, which you can find here.